with the show. We're gonna move on with the show. We're gonna go to part 3 right now.
All
Now,
right.
part 3, there should have been more people on the call because part 3 was more like chilling and just kind of messing around. Because the show's not as serious as people want to make it out to be. We're not like a conspiracy show. It's more of strange thoughts and revelations. You know what I mean? We like to ask different questions and just kind of get people different feedback on them. I'm not always saying that I'm right. I don't want to be right. We like to get counter ideas, and nobody's essentially right. We like to kind of critical think on this platform. The topic is are you a bad texter?
The answer is everyone's a bad texter.
The question is, are you a bad texter? This comes from, there's like articles about text anxiety of people, they don't know when to answer text, if it should be right away, they delay things, they hold off text for, a while, then they all answer them, and they have this anxiety now answering everybody's text. That's one problem. Then there's other people who just don't want to text anymore. They're like, I'm at a point in age in life where texting is not a thing that I want to do. I like, call me, even though nobody uses the phone like that anymore. But a lot of people now, they're not texting back, or they're overly texting. Are you an over texter? Are you an under texter? And like, what does that say about the relationship with the person that you have if you're texting them kind of either like late on their messages? You don't really, how do you tell somebody, I don't want to text you anymore, like chill out, like stop messaging me? What are the things that your mechanism that you do in texting when it comes down to that? Like I said, we thought there was supposed to be at least 5 to 6 people on tonight. Like I said, season 2, we're starting off slow. It doesn't matter. The show's going to go on. We're going viral on TikTok. And then we're doing TikTok first. So if you're not going to come to the show in the early days, then you might not get an award this season. But like I said, for me it was the big gap period between the seasons, but it's no problem. We're moving forward. So Herb, what do you got for us?
First off, I think everyone's a bad texter because you're going to text in a certain way. I'm going to text in a certain way. The other person's going to read it, text in a certain way, and we're all going to read all these texts differently. We could all say the same message, but we're going to type it in our own way, and everyone's going to comprehend it according to their mood, right? So if I'm upset and I read your text, I'm going to read that text in an upset manner, So all of a sudden I'm upset at Abe, even though all Abe asked me for to, hey, you want to go to the park later, So really, I think everyone's a bad texter. I don't think there's a time frame on when you should respond back.
Well,
I think
some people think that a bad texter is a late texter. So you think
then
that
they should call them.
You think
the point
that?
of texting.
Go ahead.
No, absolutely not. In the professional world too, email a timely response back to an email is 24 hours. Texting is basically in the same virtue, same realm as that.
So you're saying
so
that
if you need an immediate answer,
no, keep going.
I was just going to say, if you need an immediate answer from somebody, you call them because it's urgent, right? You need the response now. You need to get them on the phone now to get the information or the answer you need. But if you're texting someone, it could be just a quick message. It could be not that important. It's obviously no significance to it. I mean, there's a reason why you call 911. You don't necessarily text them, right? It's you wouldn't think, even though there is that option technically, you take out your phone and be like, all right, yeah, let me just text 911 real quick. You would be like, no, let me give them a call. This is an emergency.
So your version of a good texter is somebody who responds within 24 hours with intent.
If they're not going to respond back in 24 hours with the answer you need, at least some type of message like, hey, I don't know, let me get back to you on that when I do know. Some type of acknowledgement in my eyes, I mean, I get it. Sometimes I get busy and I'm like, damn, I forgot to text them back. It's been like 3 days. Let me just shoot them a text and let them know, hey, man, I was just busy, but A, B, C, and D. And you know what? If you text me first and I don't respond back to you in 3 days and you don't reach out to me again within those 3 days, clearly it wasn't that important, or else you would have called me again or texted me again.
So if you don't return somebody's text in 3 days, you don't feel bad about it. You're saying it's no big deal. I miss your text. Don't bother me about it. Like don't bring it up to me. Ask again if it's that important.
Yeah, I mean, we all know that we're all busy and whatnot. I mean, if I text somebody and they don't respond to me in 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever amount of days, doesn't really matter, and I really need something from them, I'll call them or I'll text them again. If they don't respond, I'm like, all right, they're clearly busy, or some shit's going down in their life.
Right. So you're not a person who gets offended if you text somebody and they don't respond back within 24 hours. You're cool about it. It's no big deal.
Basically.
Is it person to person, or is it like relation? Is it like a relationship to relationship type situation? Do you give everybody that same leeway, or is it just specific? Is it does it only a small group of people do you get like offended by if they don't respond back to you, or is that like applicable for everybody?
Yeah, I mean, definitely not the same for everybody, right? If me and you are business partners and we're both at work and you're texting me about something that's work related to both our business or whatever the case for that case being, then yeah, I better respond back to you, or else you're gonna look at me like, man, this guy's not taking anything seriously.
You're not gonna
But I
hit them back
mean,
saying, "Why don't you just email me?"
no, no, absolutely not. I'm gonna respond back to that text. I mean, everyone looks at their text, right? For whoever says, "Oh, I didn't look at that till after," bull crap. We're all allowed to have phones at work. We're all allowed to have phones whenever, wherever. We all look at our phones at least once an hour. You know, I get it. Sometimes you're on your phone doing something and you see that text and you're like, "All right, I'll respond back to him when I'm done with this," but I want to focus on this, and then you don't respond back for a while. But as far as the relationship, what defines the relationship, whether it's business partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, or just your friend, there's definitely a sense of urgency between whatever the relationship is, and that sense of urgency changes between them.
What qualifies as a bad text from someone texting you? Like, what qualifies as like someone who just sends you a stupid ass text that you just like, I'm not dealing with this.
I would say a bad text, I'm not dealing with it, is if somebody like sends you a text where you're like, what the hell did this even say? And they don't take the time to recorrect themselves when it's like completely does not make sense in any type of English, then it's a bad text. That's what I'm like, you know what? You didn't even take the time to send me a legit text. Why would I even try and figure out what you're trying to say here? But that's what I would call a bad text.
If somebody messages you that like sends you a text message like, "Yo, what up?" and you don't respond back, let's say 2 hours. You haven't talked to this person in 6 months. It's not like a person. It's not one of your go-tos, right? He just hits you up. And you respond back an hour later, "Yo, what's going on?" And then he responds back immediately, "Oh, what's up?" Are you going to wait another hour to send him a message back? Are you going to engage with him right then and there?
No, I mean, if I was planning on not engaging with him ever again, then I never would have responded back to him in the first
No,
place.
no, I'm
But
not saying you have
I,
beef or a grudge with. I'm saying is somebody you out of the norm of your circular of who you know, like your top 10 text people are. Somebody hits you up like, "Yo, what's up?" Are you hitting him up like, let's say you see it? Are you gonna be like, "Oh, well, what is this guy hitting me up for?" Should I respond back immediately, or should I wait an hour, or whenever or put him in your text message like
it depends on what you're doing. So
the,
if I'm at
the
work
text is
and
saying "what up." Oh, so you're based on whatever you're doing as a
yeah,
person.
yeah, but that thought came into mind, just like you said. Why is this guy hitting me up after 6 months, right? That pops into your mind right away. What could he possibly want, right? So if I'm at work or if I'm doing something, working out, whatever, I'm just gonna be, you know what, when I get back to
Does
the
it does
crib
it give you
and I'm on the couch,
anxiety?
I'll respond.
Does it give you anxiety wondering what does he want? So you're waiting 2 hours to respond to him.
Absolutely not. Does it give me anxiety if I'm the one getting the text?
Yeah.
Nah, not at all.
So you have no anxiety of thinking, "Oh, what does this guy want?" Like you're not worried like, oh, you're just kind of like, you just put it as like, I got to respond back in your brain. That's what you put it
I
as.
mean, it depends on what the falling out was or why you haven't,
No,
talked in
man,
six
this
months.
is
If you,
not a
oh,
fall.
did
This
you,
this isn't a falling out. This is just somebody hits you up. Hey, you haven't talked to him in 6 months just because life's life. I'm not hitting people up like that, but
okay.
there's no beef involved. This guy, there's no beef. There's
Okay,
literally just like somebody hits you
no.
up,
If there's no beef, then there's absolutely no anxiety.
no anxiety. He's some guy
No.
out of nowhere hit you up 6 months, was wondering, "Hey, what do you got to do?" And do you think you respond 2 hours later? What do you think he thinks? Do you think he's like, are you worried that he's gonna be like, "Yo, this guy took 2 hours to message me back"?
You know what, man? If he is worried about me taking 2 hours to respond back to him, then I should delete him off my phone.
Okay, he's not worried, but let's say when you start responding to him and then he responds back almost immediately. Let's say you respond back after 2 hours. "Oh, what's going on, man?" And like a minute two later, he hits you with the response. Are you gonna give him the courtesy of at least engaging then? Or are you gonna go about your day and whatever happens?
Look, this is like you said, no beef, none of that, all that. It's just some dude that I knew once upon a time ago, and he's just texting me for whatever reason. So I'm going about my day the way I go about my day. If at that minute that I walk out the door, I'm getting in my car, and it takes me 20 minutes to text him back, it takes me 20 minutes to text him back. I get back to him when I get back to him. Until I see something crazy where I got to stop what I'm doing to talk to him, then I'll stop what I'm doing to talk to him and answer him immediately and stop everything else and give him my undivided attention to give him all the energy that I have, right? Other than that, we're just shooting the shits. That's what it looks like to me. He's just texting me, well, yo, what up, man? I'm just bored, whatever. That's what I'm thinking. So I'm going to go about what brings home the money, and I'm going about my day until I see, there's a sense of responding back to him. Now, if I'm on the couch and I'm getting that text, yeah, I'm responding back right away because I'm not doing shit. But, it all depends.
Is it fair to say that you value your time more than somebody else's time?
No, absolutely not.
It's not fair
Absolutely
to say
not.
that. But
No,
you're going to make
it's
him
not
wait.
fair to say that because-
You're gonna make him wait till whenever it's convenient for you to respond.
No,
To me, that's from an outside listening. That's kind of what my ears heard was, oh, my time's better than yours.
No. Now you're taking with a different approach here. So you're saying that I value my time more than I value his time. No, if I didn't value his time at all, then I wouldn't respond back to him
At all.
But if we're working on something, or if we're about to do something, or about to get on a call, or anything that has some type of substance, and I put him up to something, I'm not going to waste his time by giving him that type of task or having him do something in particular and waste his time. I wouldn't have him wait on me at a parking lot for an hour. That's not valuing someone's time. But we're talking about text messages here. It takes me 2 seconds to send him a text. It takes him 2 seconds to send me a text. So if I'm sending him a text and he's staring at his phone for 2 hours waiting for me to respond, then, this dude needs some type of psychiatrist or something, because there's no reason to why he should spend 2 hours staring at the phone waiting for me to text. So I'm not taking up any of his time. We're taking up the same amount of time. So in reality, it's equal value of time because we're both taking the same amount of time out of our day to send a text in the first place.
One can argue at this point in time, your cell phone is always on you. You always got it on. You're always checking the message. You always know what's popping. One can argue saying, hey, man, you're always on your phone. I know you do business on your phone, your X, Y, and Z. I just have something to ask you. I have something to talk to you about. It's been 6 months. Let me, or are you?
Okay.
Yeah. What if he waited to? What if he waited?
That's fair enough, right? So you, like I said earlier, we all look at our phone at least once in that hour. We all acknowledge that we get a text or a call or whatever it is, right? But I'm reading this text. I just put my gloves on. I'm washing a car. It's 120 degrees out. Do you want me to stop, take off my gloves, stand in the 120 degree sun, and respond back to you saying, hey, what's up, man? And then put back my stuff on and then wait for you to respond. And when you do respond, for me to do that all over again. So the whole value of time concept, it's not applicable because you don't know what I'm doing and I don't know what you're doing, right? That's the point of a text.
Wouldn't that
That's
be?
what we're talking about.
Wouldn't the example you're saying? Wouldn't that be a bad time to try to text somebody back?
Well. What I'm saying is,
at least
texted
you
me,
started.
Right?
At least it's the best part. At least you started saying that you are a bad texter. At least you acknowledged it, opened it, saying that you're a bad texter.
Let's say it's you and me, right? Let's say it's you and me. We're 3 hours difference. I'm driving. It's 8 a.m. For you, it's 11 a.m. Right? So it's your lunchtime. It's for me. It's just the start of my day, basically, or the starting of a work day. I get to work and I'm cleaning this car, or actually right before I clean the car, you text me saying, "Hey, what's going on?" And I just seen your text just right when I got there. All right, and it's been 20 minutes because it takes me 20 minutes to get to work. I respond back saying nothing much, just about to clean this car, and then I don't know when you're going to respond back to me. So you want me to sit there and stare at my phone and wait for you to text me back and disregard all my obligations until you do text me back?
No.
That's my point.
I'm not saying that.
So your day has to go on. No,
of course.
Essentially, the whole bad texter thing, that's where this whole conversation stemmed from, right? I'm sitting there, and if I'm not waiting for your text and responding back in the same fashion that you're responding me back in the same timely manner that you're responding me back in, then all of a sudden I'm a bad texter. Who's to say that? Who's to say that I'm not doing shit and the only thing I have to do is to respond back to you in the same time that you respond back to me in? So you want me to wait to see, it takes him 10 minutes to respond back, so I'm going to text him back every 10 minutes.
Are you petty are you a petty texter? Like if somebody waits, what if somebody waits an hour to text you back, are you going to be like, all right, let me wait an hour to send him back the message? Are you match times?
Absolutely not. What is this, third grade?
I'm just wondering.
If there is someone in my life that is like that, then I hope to God I find out so I could block their number.
I mean, there are people. There's petty texters, man. There's bad texters. There's petty texters. There's aggressive texters. There's angry texters. You know, there's a lot of different. This is the thing. The text used to be a very simple ordeal, and it's like it turned into. I feel like people when I see these articles about anxiety and text, I'm blown away. I'm like, what the hell? You know, I can't believe it. You know.
No, for me, the only let's say emotion through text that I ever get is if I look down on my phone and I see a group chat that I'm in and I have 178 unread messages. All of a sudden it's like, what happened? Did something go on, you know, wherever? Did some type of event happen or like a riot or something? So it's like I got to scroll all the way up and read through each and every single one to make sure I didn't miss anything. And guess what? 9 out of 10 times, those 100, 200 texts mean nothing. Zero. Because people text to waste time, I feel like, or to make time go by, or just for whatever reason. If you need something, call. Like you said, call.
Have you always, has your text messaging evolved as you've aged, or do you think that you've always been kind of very consistent of your texting? Like when you were younger, do you think you put more time into your text and more energy into it and responding and all that, versus when you're older now, you look at your time more, you respect your time more, and you're like, you know what?
I feel like now I'm a little bit more.
Have you always been a bad texter?
Text messages.
Have you always been a bad texter?
No.
So when you were younger, you would say you were better at texting. When you get older, you're kind of, it's lightweight.
No, I would say for when I had my first phone, when I was 15, 16, somewhere around there. For a 15-year-old, I excelled what other 15-year-olds were.
We're doing when you were 20. When you were 20, we don't go below.
Okay, even when I was 20, the way I was texting when I was 20 versus the way I'm texting now, I was, for a 20-year-old, I was 10 out of 10, and for a 32-year-old, I'm a 10 out of 10.
I'm not gonna lie, Mike. You described the worst texter of all time right now, and you're telling me that you're a 10 out of 10.
But that's opinion.
I give you my opinion. Is my opinion just off my information that I've gathered from you right now. Just a little that I have. I would give you 4 out of 10 as a texter. At least you responded. You know what I mean?
Where, so you have a 10-point base system. Where do your 10 points rely on? You know, what's the breakdown of your 10-point rubric here?
Intention. We say intention. We can say time. We can say effort, and you know, some of these can be like, you know, more like 2 points, 3 points type situation. It's a text, you know, at the end of the day, it's a text.
Well, that's where I'm coming from. So what defines a bad texter?
You
know, what's your definition? No. What's your definition of I mean, look, when you text me, do I not respond back to you?
Yeah.
Do you not get the answer? Do you not get the answer, the response you need before the time is up, or
if you take but if you take too, at this point in my age, if you take too long to respond back, I'm not tripping about it or whatever. Or it's like this.
Yeah, no. We're talking about it doesn't matter. You don't know how old I am, right? So let's pretend like we just were texting. Every time you've texted me, do you not get your response or an answer or something with, or at least an answer with some type of substance for you to take that text and do something with it? If I make you wait, I at least give you everything in a text. If I make, you know what I mean?
Here's the thing is, I believe when it comes down to text messages, it's like this. I am a person, if I get a text message and I see it, I'm immediately responding or I'm immediately not. Now, if I'm not responding,
so that means you don't value your own time.
No.
That means you don't value your own time. Because
one can argue I value it more.
No. So you don't value your time and whatever BS is going on in the phone. So if I texted you saying, hey man, you want to go to the Lions game next week? You're going to stop doing and lose your train of focus and everything that you're doing on your computer just to respond back to me. And then you got to regain focus. And by the time you're about to regain focus, your phone goes, it's another text for me trying to convince you to go to the game still. So now that I've gotten your attention and your attention is 30 or 50% diverted away from your work, you're not giving your work all your time. So now what you're telling me is that your time is worth being lost towards others when you're working on something bigger and you know you're working on something bigger. So okay. If you really believe in what you're doing.
But if I have to sit down there now while I'm working and I got this in my head of me have to answer, do I want to go to the Lions game? I could kind of guess yes or no right away, or I'm not going to hold off. Let me convince. You know, I'm either going to be like, hey, no, I'm good on the game, or yeah, maybe I'll keep you posted. Let me hit you back. I'll try to do it as soon as possible for responses like that. You know, but
okay. Well, let me ask this: if you have two phones, right, and I text one phone and it happens to be in your car while you're holding your other phone, and you don't respond back to me, and then you text me back on that phone hours later, say, my bad, I left my phone in the car. And then I'm like, oh, okay, shit, so I should text his other number. Next time I text your other number, your personal device, same shit happens. So are you a bad texter?
See, you hit it on the head. It's if it keeps on happening and you're texting me, that's a sign of saying, hey, I'm straight on texting. What's going on? Because it's not. It's like whatever's going on. It's like I'm not. I'm good on it. You know what I mean? Like I don't. I'll ghost you maybe. In that context, maybe, you know, depending on what the situation is. So it's like it's like this. I'm saying it's like for me, if I have a whole bunch of text messages that are unanswered, I'm like, they're either like literally nothing, or I gotta just take care of them. Let me just say yes, no, blah, blah, whatever. But I try to do it as soon as I can. But at the same time, it's like, I'm not going to, and I give somebody like 3 texts. You got 3 texts with me to get whatever you want out. I'm going to do it. I'm going to answer them fast. If you think I'm going to sit here now and go spend a whole bunch of time conversating via text message, when like I'm speaking of a person who just on average won't text me, you know, then I'll give him 4 texts, and then I'm going to pump up the brakes on this, and I'll respond back to him when I clear up, or what if whatever we have going, you're texting me about it, I haven't talked to you in 6 months or whatever. If we can't solve it with 3 text messages, I need to give you a call, or you know, or it's not going to happen. Whatever you're talking about, it's not, we're bullshitting.
Well, sometimes
Get to the point.
Sometimes
there's got to be intent.
Well,
What's your intent?
That's why whenever I get that kind of text message, I don't respond. I call them right away. You text me saying what up. I texted you back saying what up. And then you text me back some type of sentence. I'm gonna call you back and act like I'm driving. I'm gonna say, "Hey, man, what's going on? What do you need, real quick? You know, let's get this over with." I'm not putting the ball in your court. I'm holding the ball, and I'm gonna get this call done. I lead this call. I control this call. I'm the narrative of the story. I'm the director, and that's that. You know, when this call's over, it's over. You know, if you're not somebody that I really mess with, then you don't know my schedule. You don't know what I could be doing. So all the people that I text, they know that. They know, hey, man. You know, this is between the hours of 10 and 2. He's grinding. Wednesdays, 1 to 5, do not call or text him because he will not respond. If you do, then you know that you're going to get a response back at 5 to 5:10 when I get back into my car. And from there, I'm driving. If you text me again, I'm calling you. And we're going to get this resolved before I get home. So that's that. That's why the whole texting.
Why do you think people have text anxiety? And why do you think people delay text? Why do you think somebody isn't responding? Besides any reason that
words.
Besides
this is why. Sorry to cut you off.
Go ahead,
this is why. Because you cannot take back the words of a text. There's proof that you said these words. There's proof that this had happened at this time on this date, and this is what you felt like. So they have text anxiety because they'll type up a novel, type up a paragraph, and be like, does this sound right? I don't want him or her to think this. I don't want this. I don't want that. And that's that. As soon as you hit that send button, it's over. But over the phone, you can say whatever, and then all of a sudden, the next day when they call you out on that, you say, no, that's not. Oh, that must be miscommunication, or this is what I meant to say, or no, you misheard me. So now there's no actual documentation of what you said. So the text anxiety stems from that. The record proof that this conversation.
I don't know, man. It sounds like you got a lot going on in your text, my guy. It sounds like there's a lot fucking going on over there, you know?
Yeah, man. I mean, I got 3 devices, 5 numbers. So you know, my texts go crazy.
Austin, this is a little bit light. This is a little bit more lighthearted. You know, if you want to jump in this one, you can give us a take. If not, I'll keep going.
Oh no, I'm here. I got the kid to sleep now. I'm good.
All right. Do you think you're a good texter? I'm sorry. Do you think you're a bad texter? You think you're a good texter?
Fantastic.
What do you think? You don't know Herb on the line. If you had to guess from listening to this, if you're a good texter, what would you say? Let him speak, Herb, too. What would you think that what would you rate him as a texter? You think he's a good texter, bad texter, mediocre?
Herb sounds like me, 10 out of 10.
Oh my God, here we go. So you agree with that? You agree with Herb's?
100%.
Oh, that shocked me. And he said and Austin says he's a good texter. You guys are both the terrible texters. I'll tell you that much. Like I don't put too much thought into the text at this point now. It's like if somebody texts me a novel, I might block you. If you text me a paragraph, homie, you're gonna get blocked. Maybe it's a high possibility. I won't ever talk to you again if I got to sit there and read something, because I don't know what's the point. Just give me a call or break it up into 2 different texts. You know, let me respond to first half and then ask a second half of it. You know, like I think at an age, I asked the age question because I think age varies on the how you text and communicate. You know, I think the older you get, the less weight a text is. It's not that big of a deal. That's why the whole I don't look at it like, oh, I'm gonna, like, if somebody texts me, I'm gonna try to immediately respond back to them. If I don't have my phone, whenever I get my phone, I'll respond back. And then if I'll engage right away, just to kind of get that process. You know, I thought you were
Different
gonna,
folks,
I
different
thought
strokes.
you were gonna come out swinging on Herb right now. I thought you were gonna come out swinging. I was
No,
didn't
no,
ex-
no.
I didn't expect that.
I agree with him 100%. I mean, it's really about prioritizing. You know, not that I don't care with what someone said, but if I have 100 texts, I got family, other friends to deal with, and your text says "yo" or "what's up," that moves to the bottom of my reply list, and when I get to it, I get to it. And for the most part, I think all of my colleagues know I'm that way, so they know what to expect. So if you want something from me, don't text me "what's up" or "yo." Text me, "Hey, I need this," or "man, I'll reply a little bit faster.
Interesting. All right, I like that. That's you know, that's a good it's a good take. You know, I learned some new stuff right now. Maybe I'm a bad texter. I don't. Maybe I gotta rethink my texting strategies. I guess now, because I'm thinking like Herb's on the line right now. I'm looking at like, man, this guy's I hate to text this guy. Or like it would be terrible. But Austin comes in and agrees with him. I guess, you know, we're gonna post these clips. You know, we'll see what TikTok has to say. You know, right now we're big. TikTok's going viral right now for us. This will be a good YouTube video too, but I didn't expect that. So maybe I gotta go and read the comments and rethink my texting strategies. Well, that's